Work on it in the evenings and on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Tiny, like I get like a visceral reaction to it. It's like a squeeze, and I just
Are an artist, but you are an artist, girlfriend. You really are. It's lovely. Really
yeah.
lovely. Thank you. That's the flavor of Graceland. I've never been to Graceland. All right, hello, good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning. Maybe you're checking in from somewhere far away. How are you guys? And welcome to this Instagram live edition of Meet the Miniaturist. Great to see you guys joining. Hi, Carrie Fulton Stories. Good to see you. Hello. What's going on, guys? Great to see everybody. Thank you for joining. So great. Fraser Project, yes. Awesome. So good to see everybody. And I even see Heidi. She's joining. I'm going to try to connect you now. I think that's going to be awesome. We have a couple of minutes. We're early. We're sort of a little early. I started a little early, so I'll let everybody, give everybody a chance to join. And then I'll bring our special guest on. But where are you guys joining from? Definitely put in the comment section. Say hello, wave. Tell me where you're joining from. Hey, Upper West Side to Chatham. Good to see you, Donnie D. What's going on, everybody? Where are you joining from? And you must have heard about this through Instagram, I'm just saying. I just want to say before we begin, make sure, hey Florida, make sure you are subscribed to my mailing list. The link is in, hey Louisville, the link is in my bio. Join my mailing list. I don't bombard you. Hey Jersey, good to see you. Tampa Bay, my cousin is in Tampa Bay area. Good to see you guys. Queen Graham, 18, New Jersey. All right, great. Good to see everybody. Keep putting it in the section. I want to know where everybody's coming from. Couple of housekeeping things before we begin. If you, like I said, if you're not signed up to my mailing list, please do so, because that's really how you find out definitively what's going on. Because you might not be checking into Instagram, you might not checking in to all my other social media channels, but my mailing list, and I promise I don't bombard you. I don't mail out more than once a week, maybe a little more than a week, but like 1.5 times, like 5 times a month? I don't know. Anyway, a couple of housekeeping things before we bring Heidi on. If you missed my interview with Southern Gothic Dollhouse, Lauren Dodge, don't miss that. Go see the replay. It's on my YouTube channel. Check out the link is in my bio. She's an awesome miniaturist. We had a really great chat. I did it live on a Zoom, so there's a replay on my YouTube channel. If you haven't joined my Patrons Club, do so, because there are benefits to that. I have 2 sort of exclusive events. I'm going to say they're exclusive only because they're for my patrons. And those are guys who contribute to my Meet the Miniaturist series, which is this. Again, link in the bio, contribute. 2 events coming up. One is about estate planning. So if you've got a collection and you're looking to sell it, I'm having a webinar on, best way to approach a sale of your collection, how to get ready for a sale, what your options are. This is Instagram, so you might be a little young to be selling your estate, but anyway, I'm offering it. Then I'm having a meet and greet. So very much like the club sort of, it's sort of like a club style, this patrons club. So we're going to do a meet and greet, and we're going to do a share, like a show and tell, and we're going to go around the room, virtual room, and share miniatures from our collection, or share bucket list wishes. Those are both in July. Again, sign up for my mailing list. And then finally, I'm having a Meet the Miniaturist sponsored by hbsminiatures.com. If you don't know about them, they're like the largest supplier of miniatures, in the world. Go to miniatures.com. They have basically everything. We're going to be doing a more creating contest winners. I don't know if you know about this, but they have a creating contest every year. They sponsor it. Hundreds of people get involved. They create, they build, and they're judged in many categories, so there's many chances to win. So we're gonna have 3 of those winners on, chatting with them. They're gonna share their work. It's gonna be awesome. So look for that. That's on June 27th. Registration is not up yet, but again, check my you gotta get on my mailing list so you know what's happening. I am gonna go, and I'm going to bring up right now. I sent her a request, so hopefully it'll come up through the magic of the internets. And welcome those of you who are just joining. I just went through a whole bunch of housekeeping stuff. So, hey, there you are. Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
Great to see you. You know, there's always that moment when you don't know if it's going to work or not, and then it does, and then it's awesome. So,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm good.
Heidi,
how are you?
Heidi, tell me your full name and how you pronounce it. What's the best way to pronounce it?
It's Heidi Athay.
It's Heidi Athay. Good to see you. And you hail from Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
And you don't call yourself an artist, but you are an artist, girlfriend. You really
Oh,
are. And I came across your Instagram, obviously. That's how I found you. And I was just like, whoa, there's so much going on here. There's so much talent going into this. You are building a miniature Graceland in 1/24 scale. Before we get to see it, because I know you're gonna share it. Thank you. I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit about your background. It's not necessarily in art, but you do have creative background, and then talk about the evolution from that to how you decided to make this very ambitious project.
Sure. First of all, I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm
a little bit nervous because I've never
done you go for it
before. And when I'm nervous, I tend to giggle at the end of all my sentences.
That's all right. I giggle
that.
Too. I'm not with you.
Yes. I mean, I've always been into creative stuff. I knit, I draw, I do all kinds of other things. But and I used to work. I went to film school, and I worked in film art departments for a little while. And now I work in animation. I'm a production manager. I don't do the actual drawing and the animation. Yeah. But and then in terms of anything, but I've never done miniature work before, I've always loved miniature stuff. Like when I see, especially the tinier, the better for me. If I see something tiny, like I get like a visceral reaction to it. It's like a squee, you know. I just like
no, I understand. I totally get it. So you definitely have this creative. There's a lot of creative energy around you. So, and yes, I hear you, love of miniatures, but, and I know the pandemic had a lot to do with your decision to do this, but like what sparked you to say, this is the project?
Well, I really wanted, I'm a huge Elvis fan, obviously. I think you'd have to be, but, and I was getting kind of stir crazy. It was in January, we'd already been locked down for like almost a year. Right. And I just really wanted to do a real big project that I could do in my house. And I thought, you know, what if I made like a dollhouse? And I've seen there, obviously, I mean, Graceland was open to the public in 1982. So there have been thousands of beautiful renditions of Graceland. I'm not the first person to do this by any means. But I'd seen like a lot of like room boxes and dollhouses, like traditional open back style kind of thing. And I wanted to make like something in the layout of the actual Graceland. That was the main thing that I wanted to do. But my house I live in a tiny little apartment. So that's what led me to the 1/24 scale, because I just don't have the space for the
that was going to be my next question. Like, how do you decide on that scale? And exactly, so what is the parameters? How many rooms are you doing?
I'm doing all of the main house. So I don't know if you've been to Graceland, but Graceland has like a main house, and then there's all kinds of outbuildings. There's a racquetball building. There's a Vernon's office. There's all kinds of other buildings.
There's got to be a racquetball building.
Yeah. And you know, maybe someday I'll make those, but the project parameters right now are just to make the main building and all the main rooms. And I won't really be doing much of the grounds or anything. Like I'll be doing see, I'm a huge newbie to this, so I don't know a lot of architectural terms. I believe it's called a pergola, that thing in the front.
Pergola,
yeah. So I'll be making that, and like the benches and the lions and the stairs in front of it, but that's probably as far as I will go out. I won't have like the grounds of Graceland.
Right, but essentially the first floor, how many rooms?
Yes. Oh gosh, I think there's, well, I have 11 in my brain, but I'm counting like a hallway as a room and stuff like that, because I've got it worked out. Like, it takes me approximately 2 months so far to do each room. So it's going to be a while.
You did mention that this is, you're in it for the long term. Did you know how long this was going to sort of take when you embarked on it?
Well, when I started, because one of the difficult things at first was trying to figure out how I could make it like, because I want it to look, when it's all put together, it looks like the house itself. And
Yeah.
then each piece kind of moves out so that you can look inside, and then pushes back together. So I started with the music room, which is this little kind of building in itself. It's almost like a room box because it's alone. So I figured if I started there, and if I wasn't any good at it or didn't enjoy it, then I would stop after that. So I started with the music room as a room box, and then I really liked it, so I decided to go all in.
This would be somewhat modular.
Yes,
and that the pieces would come together. That's very smart because if you go in too big and you can't, it's hard to back out from that point. So that's really smart that you're like, all right, let me just try this space first. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I also like in and out, like I'll do some, sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'll do some exterior work and then interior work, and that keeps me, because like the exterior, for example, is all these tiny little stones, and if I just did like the whole outside of the building, I think I would stop.
Yeah.
So going like in and out and modularly doing it, it really helps keep me interested in it.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I'm struck by is the fact that you are scratch building everything, and that's not an easy thing to do because we can't be good at everything, but you're scratch building everything. And so what has, before we get to it, because I'm like so getting anxious to see it, tell me a little bit about the challenges of all those different things that you're making.
Oh gosh, there are so very many challenges. What I found is that like there's so many great resources out there, like YouTube, and I've watched so many tutorials and on Instagram. Like I've never done anything on the internet before, and this just getting into this has been such an incredible experience in the sense that there's so many. The miniature community are so helpful and wonderful, and
for sure.
If you don't know how to do something, you can learn. Like there's so many great resources. So that's basically, I do like a lot of YouTube watching and then kind of apply those things to whatever I'm making. The hardest things for me are window like drapery and curtains and light fixtures, and Graceland has like 24 of each in every room.
And I love the blue drapes are beautiful. I mean,
thank you.
Beautiful.
They almost killed me.
With a gold trim. So, all right, before we get to the house, what is just one of the things that like totally surprised you by this miniature world? I mean, it's very open, welcoming, and supportive. What surprised you out of everything?
I think that was really like, well, I guess that isn't surprising, but I mean, it's all surprising to me because every single thing is brand new to me. I've never done anything like this before. And like, I've made like friends through the Instagram, and like I've talked to so many people, and it is so open, and it's really wonderful. And there's so much talent. It's just insane. And
I bet you're totally inspiring the Elvis, the fans, the Presley fans and themselves, right?
They're inspiring me too. I have I have a lot of Elvis people on my Instagram that I talk to, and I've learned even so much about Elvis. I thought I knew I didn't know everything about Elvis, but I thought I knew. And then I've learned so much more.
And you got married there. That's how much you are into Graceland and Elvis.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see some of the work.
Okay.
And so tell us a little bit about where you're at right now. You said there's 11, 12 rooms.
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously I'm very early stages, as you'll see in a moment, because
but you actually have a lot done. You have a lot done, but it really is never done. So. Elvis does live, Donald. I hear you. Anybody have any questions before we go on? Hey, Crestwood 308. Is that Crestwood, New York? Because I'm in Yonkers. So yeah, all right, sorry.
It struck me when I was setting up that because I started this in the middle of a pandemic, and I started in January, that no one has actually laid eyes on the Graceland apart from the Instagram except for me and my husband, because we haven't had anyone to the house. So I'm really excited to do a little show and tell. I haven't been able to show it to anybody. Okay, I think I just
somebody said they can't believe you just started in January, and that is absolutely true. It's crazy because you've got so much done. All right, so
this is my workspace. That wonderful painting back there, my husband painted. Just saying.
It's lovely.
And he's been kind enough and supportive enough to let me take over like my entire living room with all this stuff.
Did you realize it was going to be this big, even though it was 1/24th scale?
No, not until I made the cardboard mock-up. The cardboard mock-up is not normally here. It's usually piled up in the background there. I just thought I'd set it up real quick so that people could get an idea of like what's been done and what's coming. So I started with the music room, which is this little guy here.
Oh,
And then this is the section I'm working on now, which has the living room and Gladys's bedroom in it. And then this, which I'll move in a sec so I can really show you the inside and stuff, is just the cardboard mock-up, which is looking a little raggedy right now, of the different sections.
So talk a little bit about that process. So you do mock-ups first?
Not for everything, but I did for this. I needed to, because I've never cut wood or made like put wood together. So I really felt like I needed to do it.
Right. Awesome. That's smart.
And these are, like I said, these have been around for a while, so now they're kind of ratty, but they are exact measurements. So when I need to, I can take all these cardboard pieces apart and make my templates for my wood. Right. So like, for example, that's a section.
Wow.
And like back here is the jungle room. That'll be a section. And then this is a big one. That's the next section I'll be working on. The upstairs I'm not doing, because I thought about it, because there are pictures on the internet and I could piece together kind of a makeshift second floor.
So that was my question. So this ultimately the as finished project will be the front first level.
Yes, and then I'll have all my chandelier lighting stuff in here and a roof.
Got it.
Just because, like, I don't know how familiar you are with Elvis, but the second floor of Graceland is off limits. It's only for the family. It's never been seen. I mean, by other than special friends of the family. So I figured, out of respect for the family, I'm just going to keep it that way instead of.
All right, that's nice. That's very nice.
Okay,
awesome.
So I'm going to put you down for a second and move the cardboard out of the way. And then I went on Amazon and I bought a little Lazy Susan.
That's a very nice little tool. We like those Lazy Susans. They're really functional.
I was thinking today, why do they call it that? Like, did the guy who invented them, like, know someone named Susan that he had a beef with?
Well, she was very lazy.
Sorry if your name is Susan. I don't know why it's called that.
Oh my goodness. So do you work on it every day?
Just about, yeah. I mean, I have a day job, so I work on it in the evenings and on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
I work on it way more in the winter. Sorry.
We're seeing it. We're starting to see it. It's so, I love that.
Sorry, I'm going to move
living room.
And then, here we are. Okay. So, this little guy here was the piece that I started with, the music room. Yeah. And I went ahead and turned on all the lights because I've done the lights in battery. So because I don't have electrician skills, although I'm thinking that maybe I'll learn it by the time I get to the bigger sections. Yeah. So I can wire it.
Yeah, it's a process. It's really a process. So
I have all the lights turned on already because they're finicky. But this guy is the easiest one to turn on, so that's where I hide him.
No, those little battery lights are good. Those work better than the battery lights that are actually attached to the light itself. So yeah. So again, everything is scratch build. Talk a little bit about that piano and how. You're going to pull it out.
Sure.
Because there are multiple materials that used to make that, which I think I'm fascinated by.
Yeah, this was actually one of the first things I made, and let me just put the roof back on because I can't hold it, and then.
Which I think is great that you're sort of taking folks through your journey on your Instagram account. So everything you do, you're sharing as it's going. So that's a really fun thing you're doing.
That's one, actually, there's something that surprised me about being on Instagram and stuff is that I find it so incredibly motivating. Like having a day where I don't want to feel like giving up because it's such a big project. And then I see people's comments and I'm like, I got to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So let's talk about that piano.
So this is piano. The sides and stuff are made out of a shreddies box.
Oh my God. What is that? That's a Canadian product?
Shreddies? Oh, do you not have shreddies in the States? It's a cereal.
I don't think we have shreddies. We have shredded wheat. Maybe it's the same. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's a shredded wheat cereal.
It's cardboard.
Yes. Yeah. And then it's all cardboard inside there as well. And then the pedals are polymer clay.
Yep.
And the little, can you see? Where can I put you so you can see better? There's it looks a little kind of
it's very detailed. And what about the legs? And what are the legs?
The legs are balsa wood, and then there's beads on the bottom.
Beads. It's beaded.
For the feet.
Lovely. It's really lovely.
Thank you.
Very nice. It looks like
And
it has a nice weight to it, despite the fact that it's made of, of cardboard. Like, what's
yeah,
the?
it kind of does. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
a bit of a weight. I
yeah.
cheated on the keys.
Okay.
That I printed out a photo of keys because I just don't have the skills for that right now. Maybe
It
I
looks,
will later, and I'll
it
go
looks,
back and fix it.
it looks great. That's reported to be one of the most historic musical
Yes.
elements in like history, or at
Yeah,
least for
that's
Elvis history. Like that's like iconic.
and not even just Elvis, because the piano was in. Oh, I can't remember exactly where it was now, but it was somewhere in. I'm sure if there's any Elvis fans on here, they could tell you. But can't remember the
What
name of the place it was, but it was played while it wasn't at Graceland. It was played by all kinds of amazing people.
didn't
Other
it
than
end
Elvis.
up like on auction? Someone bought it, and then the Graceland Foundation bought it back.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
recently returned. I think it was 2018. It was
Oh,
returned. It was I've
wow.
actually never seen this piano in person because the last time I was at Graceland was before 2018, and there was a black piano in there.
Oh, wow. All right. So it sounds
And
like
there
a road
was,
trip.
yeah, totally. Well, as soon as we're
Okay.
allowed, we've been wanting to.
I bet. All right. So there's the music room, and there
Over
you
here,
have.
I can take the ceiling off. The ceiling will eventually be put in, like, for real, because it's going to need a chandelier for Gladys's room. But
Right.
right now, while I work on these still, I keep the ceiling movable.
Yeah. So Mom of Eight Minis is saying the room even exudes the Grace mood. Yeah. I think that's a great comment.
Thank
It
you.
really does. You feel it. It's got the feeling and the flavor of Graceland. I mean, I've never been there, but I feel like I'm there. All right. So this is the formal living room?
Yes, this is when you come into the house, where there will be a hallway here eventually. It's right on the right side. It's kind of the first room that you see when you go into Graceland.
Is it really a mansion? Because from the outside, it looks like a big house.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a big house and a mansion. Like, I mean, it's very opulent, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, everything is white and gold and velvet and
Right.
lots of chandeliers. But it really isn't that giant a house. It's fairly modest as far as, celebrity mansions go, for sure.
Yeah. Right. Right. All right. So take us through that living room. Talk about some of the if you want to share how you made some of those upholstered pieces.
The couch here is actually, it's probably my favorite thing that I've ever made.
I love it.
And I knocked over some stuff. That happens. It's like playing Operation in here.
It so is. That's just
Now I've lost a lampshade.
That's the mini world. What are you gonna do?
I've thought about like gluing everything down.
No!
But yeah, no, then it's no fun. Then you can't play with it, right?
Correct. And you never
Right,
want to
we're
glue
gonna leave
anything
that
down.
lampshade.
West Gray Minis, we're gonna get to the peacock windows because I'm gonna ask questions about that.
So this is my couch. This was the first of this like upholstered thing that I made. Oh, actually, that's not true. I tried to make an upholstered couch for the music room, and I failed miserably. So I tried a totally different method for this one, because the one in the music room I ended up making out of vinyl because I just couldn't do it. But I find a lot of it depends on the material.
Yeah.
Like, hugely depends on the material. Some material just does not take to tininess.
Yeah.
But
so was it hard to find the right material that reflected these? Yeah.
I mean, these are the couch itself. The real one is made of like a damask silk. I would assume it's silk damask or satin, but it was hard to find damask with a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So this is not exact damask,
right. But it looks like it has a pattern in it. So
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually made from wedding napkins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the cushions themselves are stuffed with paper towel. I'm not sure why I did that. I had it.
Fantastic.
And this has a huge weight, which I think is why I love it, because it's actually really heavy.
I just love
wood
the
base.
length. I love the length. I love the
real couch is 15 feet long.
The real one is 15 feet. That looks like it's 15 feet. That's crazy. Crazy. All right. So what else? What other? Let's talk about the peacock doors. Are they doors or windows? They're doors, right?
They're windows. Oh, I forgot I have a Lazy Susan. I was about to pick this up. Hold on one second.
And don't make me forget. I want to ask you about that brickwork.
Hold on, I'm falling off a Lazy Susan. One sec.
That's all right. Being very lazy.
Yeah, come on. Oh, there we go. Oops. Oh no, I pushed something. Oh no, you're.
No, very good. Oh, you're taking us behind the scene. I love it. Oh, so it is
So this
windows.
is where
I thought
the
it was
music room goes, so it gives me access to. You could look at the room through this way too.
Wait, so those are doors between the music room
No,
and.
not in real life. It's just that because I built it in sections, I can pull things out. Like the music room is fully attached here normally.
Okay.
But
So
because,
talk a little bit about how you made the windows or made the peacock designs. It's stained glass in real life, right?
yeah, they're stained glass in real life. This is just plexiglass with paint markers.
Wow.
Kind of hard
I
to see
love it.
the right
And
name.
how about the brickwork? Is it textured? I can't really tell.
The bricks are actually, it's supposed to be flagstone, and they're made of coffee trays. Like, oh, shit, shoot. Sorry, I swore. It's live.
No worries. What?
You know the trays they give you when you want to carry your coffee home and you got too many? Oh, actually, I have it.
Oh,
Huge stack of them.
yes. Okay, beautiful. I love that texture. It's awesome. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, sort of like egg cartons.
Yeah,
I
I
love
read
it.
about egg cartons, and it's very similar to that, but I find it has a little bit more of a stony texture.
Yep.
And there, depending on where you cut it from the coffee tray, there's like different textures within the same coffee tray. So I found really cool. I loved it.
love it. And I love your finishing work. So is it you use paints to finish it?
Yeah, I did a wash of dark paint, and that I was totally a YouTube thing as well. I looked, there's some great stonework on YouTube that you can.
I really like the stonework so much.
I actually have a little thing here because I did. Oh, there it is. When I'm doing anything big, I like to do some kind of test first.
Yeah.
And this one, I think it says on it, this one here was made of polymer clay. And then this side I did with the one I ended up going with, which was the coffee trace.
Yeah. Wow. Really nice. Good job.
Thanks.
So, okay, so that's the living room. We saw the music room. And then I feel like there's another living room.
I've begun the next room, which is these.
That's with the drapes in it.
Yes. This is, he's falling over. This is
the drapes.
Oh, thank you. These ones actually I'm not quite finished because I have to put, there's the gold trim on the blue ones there. I need to put gold trim on the purple ones, but it was so difficult that I've kind of just leaving that for a bit, and then I'll go back to it when I feel like it. This is a closet eventually. So these little, and this is actually the door to a bathroom. So these I just have like mocked up. Well, they're ready to put in, but they won't be put in yet because I need room to work. And
how did you make the credenza? The little
this guy
side tables and the not that. Oh, I love that piece, but that piece. I don't know what it's called.
This is what I'm working on right now. So he's not finished yet. I don't know why I called it a he. Yeah, but it is not finished yet. Yeah. This is balsa, and then I took some air dry polymer clay to make the kind of details in the rounded edges.
Beautiful.
And all this stuff, I use my nail file for, which is like one of the most fun things ever. I get really excited about that.
Yeah. We did get a question about, they want to know a little bit more about the lamps. I guess the tall lamps in that living room.
All of these guys well, now I screwed one up. So I knocked the shade off so you can see what the bulb
is
like. These guys are all battery lamps, and then I put the battery, I've hidden them inside. Awesome. This one actually has a really good, that one that I knocked over is not fully, obviously 100% finished yet because it fell over. But this, I can move these little guys and I can show you because this one I'm most proud of. Oh, you know what? I glued that.
I love the little pictures and the picture frames of his mother. I think we're having a little bit of a breakdown, but let's see. There, you're back. You left us for a second. But you're back.
Put that down for a second.
But I was saying that I love the framed pictures of the mama. What did you call her? Mama, right?
See that I hid it in there and I put a switch underneath.
There you go. Yes. Oh, green-eyed stone is there's a secret piece that you discovered that you ended up making inside one of the drawers. Can you share that?
Yes, and in fact, now everything's it's a messy house right now. So
that's all good. That's all good. It's all good.
I got my tweezers. I actually left the drawer open because it really is like playing Operation when you're trying to get stuff out. So I left it open in case you wanted to see it.
We do. We want to see it, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hold it and take it out, but.
Oh yeah, I can totally. It's. Oh, just got it. Oh, hold on. Let me move this little Elvis statue.
Yeah, Anastasia's saying it's so awesome that you included that. I agree. All those little surprise touches are they're always so exciting. And, you know, I call them like pings of delight. Because you don't expect them, and then, boom. Oh, my God. All right, so.
Down. Sorry. There we are.
No worries. So we're looking at the sword. And so what is the relevance to Elvis?
They actually found this. This I found, as a lot of people who are Elvis fans, I'm sure would know. There's this wonderful series on YouTube. Is it Hidden Graceland or Gates of Graceland? I forgot. I always look it up and just go by. Angie Marchese is the vice president of archives at Graceland, and she does this amazing YouTube series where she shows like hidden secrets and all sorts of things. And that's where I got it from. I'm sure there's other places you could find this out. But apparently, when they were going through the drawers, just archiving everything before like opening the Graceland for tours, they found, and it looks a little stubby, but it is actually a half sword. It's not like a full samurai sword. It's like a dagger kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. There's a name for it, but anyway, they found this samurai sword in the drawer, and they decided to just leave it there because it was kind of a neat find.
Yeah.
I believe it was a gift to Elvis, but I'm not entirely sure.
Right. Well, I love all of those touches. They just make it all that more exciting. And I love all the little things. You have an ashtray, and there's a red phone somewhere. Can you find the red phone and show us that?
The red phone.
That piece.
It's
like a bat phone.
Here.
Love it.
I feel like I'm all in disarray now. Sorry, 2 seconds.
No worries. So, let's see the.
There he is.
Oh, I love that.
He's not that great looking close up, but he is really small.
Yeah. No, I get it. So, so talk a little bit about like what is your favorite piece so far? What do you, out of all of the miniatures that you're making, what's your favorite ones to make in terms of like the technique? Like, what are you finding you're gravitating towards? Because, like I said, you're doing everything. So you're framing pictures, you're doing sculpture, you're making furniture, so what are you loving?
I love upholstering stuff. I hated it at first, but now I really love making couches and chairs and any kind of furniture. Just the bigger pieces, I think. I do love the tiny ones, but the really tiny stuff at 1/24 scale is really tiny, and my eyes aren't very good, so sometimes I struggle with some of the smaller pieces.
Yeah.
But I love making couches and chairs and.
Nice. And what are some of your favorite tools? What can you not live without?
I cannot live without this weird little nail decorator.
A nail decorator? What is that?
Nails decorator. I'm sure there's.
Is that like a little sander, but for your nails? But you're using it. I like that's a nice little secret.
Well, I bought like a cheap modeling tool kit from Amazon when I first started, and this was just and I was like, nails decorator.
That's all you need. I mean, that's like a Dremel, but it's not. Awesome. All right, so you have your cool nail tool. What else?
Utility knife.
Nice.
That, and I also have this little. These I use a lot. It's like I bought them for polymer clay.
Yeah.
I now use them for scoring wood, for like so many things. That was another. I just buy
Yeah, so like it's a little toolkit for sculpting, for polymer clay. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. That very useful.
Beautiful. All right, so what's next for you? I know you're done with at least 3 rooms. What's next?
Two. These are all still graph paper.
Right.
Those are my mock-ups. So I got to finish Gladys's bedroom, and then I'm moving on to. I've got to finish this. I have a wall, like a 4th wall, started here. Like this is the arch and the mirrors. Those are the 4th of the living room.
I love it. Fantastic.
And on the other side of it, of course, that'll be the foyer. So next I start the foyer.
Yeah.
And then I've got a dining room and a kitchen and
I don't want to overwhelm you.
And
but you think it's going to be it's going to take another year before you're done. All right. So we're going to have to come back and visit you and see the latest developments next year when you're done or maybe almost done.
Absolutely.
So this has been awesome. Thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing your tiny Graceland.
Thank you so much for having me.
Been,
I wasn't too stumbly.
No, it's great. And we know where to find you now, and we can follow you and watch developments and see this beautiful piece come alive. This is awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody at home for joining. This has been a really, really nice way to spend a Thursday night talking about miniatures. So I'll sign off now and say goodbye, and thank everybody for coming. And bye, Heidi. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.